Hello YouTube! One of my goals for this year was to read more, and I kind of set up a goal for myself to read 2 books. I haven't really been sticking to that very well, but I have been reading more books. I have finished and started more books than I normally do in a year, so if I'm not having to read them for school or anything like that. So I'd say I'm pretty proud of myself. So I'd like to talk about the books that I have read so far this year and the books that I am reading currently and the ones that I plan on reading in the immediate future. The first book I finished reading this year is Pride and Prejudice, and I made a whole video about my thoughts and feelings on Pride and Prejudice, so you can watch that here if you'd like. The next book that I finished, I am so happy I finished this, and I don't have I read it as an ebook, so I don't have like the actual copy if you want me to just show my iPad, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. But it was A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, I think that's his name, but it's the first book in the Song and Ice and Fire saga, and it's what the TV show Game of Thrones is based off of. Really love the TV show, so I started the book last year, and these books are literally like almost, I think the first one was like almost 2,000 pages, so it's a ton of stuff to get through. So I'm happy that I finished it, and it was really good. It was kind of frustrating because I'd seen the TV show, so I kind of knew what was going to happen and what was happening, so it was a little frustrating for that, but it was really interesting to see the difference between the TV show and the books. One of the main things is the age differences. Like, Daenerys Targaryen is like 15, so that's a lot different than the TV show. The books are really good and really interesting. I like that there's so many different characters and that each chapter is basically a different character, but it's also kind of annoying because sometimes you just don't care about characters, but you have to read their chapters so that you understand what happens in a later chapter down the line. So that's a little frustrating, but I got over it. The next book that I finished was Looking for Alaska by John Green, and holy crap. So I decided to read this book at like 10 o'clock at night on a whim because I couldn't get to sleep. So I was like, oh, I'll just read Looking for Alaska. Bad idea, because I read it the whole thing in one night, so I didn't go to bed until like 5 a.m. And I cried a lot. If you've read this book, you know why. And if you've read a John Green book, you know you're gonna cry. Looking for Alaska was really interesting. It kind of made me want to go to boarding school, so there's that. It was really introspective, talking about life and death, and I'm not going to give away any more than that because there's a huge twist in here, and I'm really mad at John for doing that, but I guess it's what the whole book is about, so there's that. If you want to read a John Green book and cry your eyes out, all of his does that, but this one especially was really hard to read. Thanks for that, John. Another book that I started reading was The Once and Future King by T.H. White, which is about King Arthur and how he became King Arthur and while he's King Arthur and stuff like that, and I really like that kind of stuff. And I've started reading this book. I'm about, how far am I in? Like 30 pages in, and it's really good and it's really funny, and I can't wait to read the rest of it. It's really long. I really can't wait to read the rest of this book because I've been dying to read this book forever. The next book I'm reading is actually a reread. I am reading The Great Gatsby. It's one of my most favorite books ever, and the movie comes out in like 2 weeks, and so I kind of want to do like a reread of that for the movie. The next book that I plan on reading is this thing. I wanted to read this book forever, and I started reading a little bit of it, but then stopped to read other things, but I want to finish The Casual Vacancy because it's by J.K. Rowling and it's supposed to be really good and really interesting, so gonna read that. So that's it for my books that I have read, am currently reading, and want to read in the near future. If you like these book videos, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what you're reading. Maybe some suggestions, I don't know, but I think I might do a few more of these videos throughout time as I finish more books. That's all I've got for you guys today. I'm Christy Lou. Matane! Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up or leave me a comment below, or maybe you could subscribe. That might be a nice thing that you could do for me, maybe? I don't know. Okay, well, I'm gonna go now. Bye-bye.